Hey friends, what's going on? VC Worldwide. Got a stack of records to share and a couple of, they're not new records, but some recent purchases because I have allowed myself to celebrate my nomination by spending about, how much did I spend? 20, 30, about $40 on some records. Before I show my records, I want to shout out, do a general shout out. No names are coming to mind that I can think of. It's just that there are several people who are collecting, who make videos, whose collections are just really excellent. And I know Gorvo, last time I checked in with him, wonderful selections. I mean, people that have, we all have our own taste, but what I consider, good taste. There's a lot of people with discerning taste that are making videos, so, man, there's a lot of knowledge out there and a lot of records I wish I had, a lot of music that I'd like to, I do listen to music a lot, but a big part of the trip of it is having the record and being able to play it, so. But I'm still investigating new things. But I can't, really what I was saying is a lot of VC members have wonderful collections and great knowledge of music. Just explore. So 3 records that I bought this week. One was is a reissue, and it was marked down in price at Homer's. It had been there for a while, and so when it was still there this week, I said I got to grab it. Sound by the Roscoe Mitchell Sextet on Delmark. Released in 1966. This is obviously not a first pressing of it, but this is, in essence, the Art Ensemble of Chicago. This is just back when the whole idea of what they were doing was just popping out of the oven, as it were. And so this is just bursting with vitality, energy, ideas, and wonderful sound. If I'm not mistaken, the guy that started Delmark Records is still living, still works in the record store. I met him actually a few years ago. I forget his name, but he's an older guy, so I hope he's still living, But when I met him, amazing guy who has great dedication to great jazz, and that's where Delmark started. Yesterday I went to Almost Music in Benson. Brad always has a ton of stuff that I want and just can't afford, and so I had to go for the lowest price things that I could find that I was interested in, and so I bought 2 albums. The way my interest goes is that there's still a lot of records from my childhood and teen years that if I could own them, because I never did, I want to. And so this is one, The Great Conspiracy by the Peanut Butter Conspiracy. An original. This was marked down because Brad is really generous, and he said this is beat, and it is, but it plays great. And this is more sunshine pop than psychedelic to me, although it's called psychedelic rock. This music just holds a lot of, still holds a lot of sentimental, emotional value to me, as well as I still enjoy the music. But it's kind of like taking a trip back in the mind when I listen to a lot of that old music. Okay, I've got a big stack of records I've been playing. Let's go through them. ArtZoid, Le Mariage du Ciel et de l'Enfer. The Marriage of Fire and Water, I think. Just became friends with Thierry Zabotzef on Facebook, who is from the band. And this music is heavy, intense, almost chamber-like. Dante's Inferno is a picture that conjures up a good visual of what this music sounds like. It's always a journey of discovery for me when I listen to this music, because it makes me think all kinds of things as I'm listening to it. Because I don't quite know the origins of where this music came from for these musicians. So it just brings out a lot of things. I like it. I like the effect that it has. It makes me feel stronger in many ways. There was a discussion online about George Harrison's electronic sound album, so I pulled it. I haven't played it. I'm not going to play it, but Beaver and Krause, I think it was the Krause guy that helped George. Well, actually, George bought a synthesizer. Bernie Krause was demonstrating it to him, how to work it. I understand that's basically what we hear on this album, and yet George, and his name was originally in the credits, and yet either George or the record company decided to X him out. Interesting. Also on the Zapple label, Apple Records, the Beatles kind of giving a tip of the hat to Frank Zappa. I mean, that's the first thing I thought as a kid when I saw the label Zapple. It was like, this is wild, this is cool. Really cool. Put this on for a minute last night. I'm going to return to it today. This is a collectible punk, post-punk album. I think it's from Eastern Europe. Mind Pollution. I was looking this up, and it's a good copy. A copy of this goes for $60 upward. Your Pollution. I started to play it last night, and it's very interesting. It starts off kind of weird, not punk, you know. Is this Polish? From, I can't tell quite if it's from Poland or maybe Czechoslovakia. But Mind Pollution. I'll be going back to this today. Intriguing. Koharu Kisaragi. This single, Neoplant, came out in 1986. Written and produced by Ryuichi Sakamoto, which is why I originally bought it. And it's just excellent. Excellent. Electro pop on one side and then ambient weirdness on the second side. Excellent. My band, Wire. When I get in the mood for Wire, it goes for a while. And this period of Wire I really like. The Ideal Copy. Love this album. Played this pretty much all the way through last night. The Ideal Copy, Wire. I think the band is brilliant. I really do. And then A Bell is a Cup Until It Is Struck. Another one of their albums that is not acclaimed by the fans, but I acclaim it. I think this album is badass. Seriously. Side 2, Follow the Locust. I think it's brilliant. I think it's something that I've never heard anybody else do with a rock song. And I think that's why it's not recognized by a lot of people. I think it's way ahead of the curve. It's just my opinion. Colin Newman, I think the guy's brilliant. Brilliant. Big discussion online about Journey the last couple of days on the Facebook page, and I used to diss pop music, but that's stupid. But Journey's first couple albums are more fusion, and that's what this is. This is a really good album. Pardon me. Journey. This is the one I like. I've seen Journey twice live with Steve Perry. The first time was when Van Halen was the opening band, and I had just got turned on to Van Halen on the radio, and I did like it. And so when I went to the show, I really didn't know what to expect, but Van Halen blew Journey away. I mean, it's like, it was really, I stayed for Journey, but it was like, Journey, they're a good band, but it was like Van Halen completely decimated them. And then the second time I saw Journey, I forget why I went, but it was, it's not for me, okay? It's like music for couples, and there's nothing wrong with that. Modern Eon, Fiction Tales, one of those, what did they call this stuff? Was it post-punk? I forget what we were calling it. New wave. It's just freaking good. People that like stuff like The Cure and stuff, so many years have passed. Some references that I used to just be able to pop off, have kind of gone by the wayside. I just played this last night and just know this is damn good. About 1986 is when this came out. And then again, another wave of music I was getting into was John McLaughlin. Phenomenal musician, guitarist. This album here is still to this day, there's nothing like it. the music that he created with the Mahavishnu Orchestra, Intermountain Flame. It was the first time music like this had ever been made. And he, in my opinion, he's still not really recognized historically properly. The way that people go on and write about Jimmy Page and Led Zeppelin. See, as a musician and one who pays attention to real innovation, I think that's why I've had the sort of attitude I've had in the past. It's because when you talk about true innovation, here it is. And John McLaughlin was a studio musician right alongside with Jimmy Page, coming up in the 60s and 70s. And John McLaughlin created, well, anyway, I could go on. So I was playing John McLaughlin. This one here, I played as well, Music Spoken Here. Beautiful album. Seen McLaughlin twice live. Mahavishnu once, and then right about this time this album came out. Yeah, I saw this version of Mahavishnu Orchestra, the second one, with Jean-Luc Ponty and Narada Michael Walden, Ralph Armstrong on bass. Apocalypse, absolutely gorgeous album. Orchestra conducted by Michael Tilson Thomas. This is I think it's a classic album that people that truly love good music want to hear. And then this, Dave Cotter was talking about this, so I popped it on. He's right. Inner Worlds, Mahavishnu, John McLaughlin. This is a strong Mahavishnu album, actually. A lot of great cuts on here. Narada, excellent playing on here. And then Ralph Armstrong's Hey on there. He does a Hey Hey on there that's been sampled in hip-hop. Some big hit uses it. I forget what. Here's some Vclt. I forget who gave this to me. Volto, Inciter. I was listening to this yesterday. Really enjoying the drumming. The guitar playing got really boring really quick. The guy can play, but it sounds more like he's doing exercises than really speaking to us. So what I enjoy about this is Danny Carey from Tool's drumming. This is the other album I got yesterday at All Music. I used to have it as a kid. Procession, I think this came out in 1967. And this is Sunshine Pop. It was being marketed as psychedelia, but it's really excellent. Sunshine Pop. The opening track, You, Me, was written and arranged ready for the radio, ready to be a hit. And it could have been a hit. It didn't get promoted here, so I know they didn't get played in the Midwest, but when I hear it, it's like, yeah, all they had to do was play this enough for people to remember it, and it would have been a hit. Excellent album. Procession. The drummer, Craig Colling, went on from this band to join Manfred Mann Chapter 3. Brilliant. That stuff was brilliant too. Captain Beyond, I was getting into this. This is an original copy with the lenticular cover. Some of the best hard rock. It was like a rock supergroup. Members of Iron Butterfly, Johnny Winterand, Deep Purple, all made this album. I got there from playing this, actually. Their second album, Sufficiently Breathless, which has a fantastic cover. Not nearly as good as the first album, but the title track is worth the album alone. Sufficiently Breathless, as well as the album cover art. The Wake on Factory, Here Comes Everybody. In a way, shoegaze before there was shoegaze. This is just melancholy and fantastic. I love this album. The Wake, Here Comes Everybody. Just, that's how it hits me. Did I mention this? I was listening to the other two. Yeah, I think I did. Played it again. Was talking about Arenda Fink, her latest album, and Pearl, who is the backup singer on her new album, was in this band. There she is. Pearl, Outlaw Hun Bandana. Now I have this because I'm friends with these folks, and this is real alt country, so I don't like to listen to it, but I forget his name. He's a good songwriter, and that's what this is about, is telling stories and relating things, real life things, and it's really well done in that sense. Musically, I just don't. Okay, you know what I've said before. I'll show this because it's on nice colored vinyl. Some of you folks that have not heard of Outlaw Hun bandana, that like Americana, like just good old plain music that just is just straight about storytelling and kind of roots music. Here you go, Outlaw Hun bandana. Okay, had my records out. Charles Mingus, Reincarnation of a Lovebird. I can't remember now if I talked about this before, but I played it again since I had it out and had a video of it, and this is just fantastic. Yeah, I think I mentioned those. Okay, but I didn't go all the way back, so let me see here. Where did I leave off? Okay, Out of Focus. I think I showed that. Okay, I didn't show these. Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. Again, VC inspired by Gilbert, who just made a video of his Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark collection. And this is their second album, Organization. I liked the band when they first came out, so I bought this right away. So I got the album with the limited edition 7-inch single that came with it. And I still like this. Cold sound, cold wave, I guess you could call it. Henri Threadgill, When Was That? A brilliant saxophonist composer. This is an early album of his on About Time Music. There's a lot of New Orleans in this, and it's just really popping. A lot of energy, really celebratory in parts. Pekka Pohjola from Finland, passed away, but an excellent bass player. I think it was in Wigwam for a time. Kakkavaran Loikarm, I don't know if that's how you say it, but this album is more jazz than rock. It's really a jazz album. Fantastic, really hypnotic. It's a really neat cover with the raised letters on the cover. Here, what else do I have? I think I have a few more that I hadn't shown. Ricochet by Tangerine Dream, a live album. I hadn't played this in ages. And it's because the way it starts off is, it fools you. It starts off kind of so-so, but then when it starts to bubble, it's like, whoa, it just goes from 0 to 10, like halfway through the first side, it's just like thrilling. Tangerine Dream, Ricochet. Steaming Coils, a band that Brad Lehner of the band Medicine, who have a new album out, which I just heard some of. I like it. Steaming Coils, the Tarkington Table, more on the experimental side. Really good, really good. This is 80s, I think. 1987. David Chrisman, Brad Lehner, James Grigsby, some other names I recognize, like from the 5 UUs or Motor Totemus Guild. Those musicians involved. This is really good, really good. Tom Taylor, The Crossing. This is something that I bought about a year or two ago. I got it cheap, used, liked the cover, looked on the back and saw that what to me again is just kind of like nondescript sort of picture that I would never put on a record of mine. So it's the sort of thing that when I would see these records, when I was buying a lot, I wouldn't buy them because it turned me off. But this looked good. This album is great. It does have some of that middle-of-the-road kind of coffee table sound that this picture indicates it does, but it's also got the fusion prog flavor. Good playing and some good writing. Okay, there's some adventurous tunes on this album. Tom Taylor, The Crossing. I recommend this. Another 1986 release. Sun Ra, Heliocentric Worlds of Sun Ra. This is an original on ESP and original stereo, but not mono. Sun Ra, you either know him or you don't, okay? And Sun Ra is waiting for you if you don't, all right? You'll learn a lot, okay? You will. Okay, the last thing I'll show is Young Lions. This is an album that came out on Electro Musician. It's got a bunch of names on it. People like Hamiet Blewett, Anthony Davis, Paquito de Rivera, Kevin Eubanks, Wynton Marsalis, Bobby McFerrin, Abdul Wadud. But the results are mixed. A lot of this is kind of like the guys are treading water. and they know they're getting paid. There's a couple of standout tracks where things kind of get going, but mostly it's really underwhelming. I probably won't upload this right away, but you'll see it when you see it. I need to always remind folks that I'm still doing a fundraiser. I hadn't mentioned it before, but a free download. I'm going to do a download slip this time with a code on it. There'll be a free digital download with all of the Murphy albums. Everyone will get one. So I'll leave the links, and I'll talk to you soon.